Today, it's time for another virtual road trip to an independent yarn shop / dyer in Mississippi. Today, we're going to travel to JEMS LUXE Fibers. JEMS LUXE Fibers is out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. They've got a lot of fun and unique color ways of yarns on their website. A lot of different variety. A lot of these shops that I've been to virtually do have a lot of variety, and it's been really fun to check out all of the different colorways. I found myself leaning more towards the variegated type yarns for this project just because they work up so nicely in granny squares, but I have also gotten some solid colorways to kind of break that up throughout my blanket. So if you're interested in any of these shops, I will link that playlist down below so you can check out all of the shops that we have virtually traveled to so far in this project. And as always, I will link the website for JEMS LUXE Fibers down below as well. So be sure to check them out and see all of the fantastic yarn that they have available. If you're new to this series, I am virtually traveling online to an independent yarn shop or yarn dyer throughout the United States, one per state. I am purchasing a few skeins of yarn from each, working them up into granny squares, and at the end I'm going to join all of them together into a fantastic blanket or two, or a blanket and some accessory pieces. That is yet to be determined. But regardless, I will have some fantastic memories in a blanket of this project and of all of the wonderful stores that we've visited. So without further ado, let's get into the yarn that I purchased from JEMS LUXE Fibers. I've got the bag right here. If I recall correctly, I purchased mini skeins and not full hanks of yarn, which is probably the way to go since we're visiting so many of these shops. But some shops don't have the minis available. You do what you gotta do. We've got yarn. So I purchased sock yarn. Here it is, JEMS LUXE Fibers. And if you can tell from the label and from the website, they're sort of like Greek or mythologically inspired. So we've got that sort of cool ancient text down there. And the name of the yarn, this is the Zeus collection. So if nothing else gave it away, the name definitely does. So this is the Luxe Sock Minis. It's a fingering weight. We've got merino, nylon, mix. In each of these, there's 92 yards. And hand wash cold, which is definitely what I'm planning to do with this blanket if I ever need to. So let's open this up and see how it feels. All right, the first one, we've got a nice purple blend with white. This is called Lord of Justice. 93 yards. Just look at those, the purples with the whites. A very nice blend. These will work up really nice into granny squares, almost like a solid, but with that different blending of the purple and the white. It'll be fun to work up, not just like a solid where it's the same thing over and over. Next up, we've got Wrath of Zeus. So this has a nice mixture of blues and purples. Let's take a closer look And we've even got some golds maybe in there. Some golds or browns. There we go. Really nice. So there's the two next to each other. This one is just called Zeus. So we've got some nice teals and blues. Just a hint of purple in there as well. Super pretty. Those colors, I'll show them all together once we look at all of them. But this is a really nice colorway, especially if you were doing socks or even like a shawl where you wanted to put all of the colors together. Olympia, look at this one. We've got a whole array of colors in this one. Oranges, yellows, greens. We've got some blue and yellow in the middle, some greens and oranges on that side, and again on that side. So pretty. Just gorgeous. Love the colors. The longest straw. So this one is basically all yellows, oranges. So pretty. And this is fingering weight, so on the thin side. And they're so bright. So all of these colors don't show as well on the camera, but in person, they're so bright, they're vibrant. Beautiful, beautiful colors. So we're going to try to hold these all up together now that they're kind of unwound. Yep, just look at those. Gorgeous colors. Very happy with this. They had so many other options. I really didn't know what to pick. This was a little bit different from what I'd been going with before, I felt. So I wanted to try this out, add a little character to the blanket. I'm thinking these squares will really stand out, and I will definitely remember where they came from. And by mixing them up throughout the blanket, it's just going to create for a wonderful, unique blanket. So excited. So first things first, I need to go wind all of these up. Last time I wound up each skein individually and then worked them individually. I think for this, because they're minis, I can just wind each of them up all at once, get that out of the way, and then work whichever colorway I feel like. These should go relatively fast because they're all mini skeins, and we should have finished squares very soon. It's been a few days. I started winding all of those yarns on Sunday. The first one I did, I messed it up. I don't know what happened. I think when I had put the original hank of yarn around my chair backs, I didn't have that, it wasn't correct. It kept getting tangled. I got this far and this was just a mess. It was a total me issue. So this is the only one that I didn't get all balled up nicely. I'm just gonna work the squares from this since I don't need it to be one entire ball, I'm just making squares. So that shouldn't be too bad. But the rest of them worked up beautifully. We've got this one. This one was Lord of Justice. So it's the nice purple with the white running through it. I think they call that heathered. I tend to think of anything that looks like this as more denim, but maybe that's just the 80s and 90s kid in me. So that worked up really nice. I was also able to make one square of each of these colorways last night. So we're already into Wednesday. So it's been 2-3 days since I even started trying to wind these up. This one I didn't finish on Sunday, and then I said, I'm done. I can't handle this right now. I need to do something else. So last night, Tuesday night, after work, I don't have a lot of time during the day because I work a full-time job. So all of my fun time is either super early in the morning or late at night. So last night I finally wound all of these up, and I was even able to make a square of each. So the square for this one, and no, I haven't even woven in the ends yet. This is what the square looks like. So really nice. I really like how it's like a solid granny square, but with that white running through the purple, it gives it a little bit of depth, not just a solid color. So I really like that. Next up, we've got this purple, blue, teal. There's some white in there. This one is Wrath of Zeus. And the square looks like this. So again, really nice. I really love how all of the colors run through the entire square. So you don't just have like blues up here, purples down here, whites or teals or whatever on the other side. You've got them running through the entire square. Really love that. Next, we've got this one. This is much more of a green teal. It doesn't come out as green as it is in person. So on camera, it looks way more blue. This one is just called Zeus. And the square looks like this. So again, you've got all of those nice colors running through the square. Really happy with how these are working up. I love them. This yellow, the longest straw. Here's the square. So again, really nice. We've got some yellows and bright oranges in there. Doesn't pick up as bright on the camera as it is in person, but just know it's super bright yellow, nice rich yellow, rich oranges. Very, very nice square. And finally, probably my favorite of the group for this one, Olympia. How do you not love this colorway? I mean, this is fantastic. And look at this square. I mean, I love this one. This is my favorite. We've got all of those colors and they just run so nicely together and through the square. All of these yarns came together, and so they do go very well together. So, you know, if you wanted to make something, a project with all of them together, not just granny squares, but, you know, any kind of project, they would just work out so nicely. This one, my favorite, Olympia, has all of the colors in all of these other colorways. So this kind of ties everything together if you were to use this, all of these yarns in this collection together. So I just wanted to pop on really quick before I head off to work and show you how the squares are coming along. Talk about my little issue with this guy here. Gonna make it work. I'm super excited to finish these up, and next time we see each other, I should have all of these done, see how many squares each one made, and we'll be ready to take another virtual yarn store journey. We have granny squares. I've got all of my granny squares made. I have not woven in the ends at all yet. I'll do that after this video once I show you all of the beautiful squares. Now this one is the last one that I worked on. I got 5 squares out of each of those hanks of yarn. This one is my favorite of the 5. We have some beautiful blues and teals and yellows and oranges and reds. The squares worked up so beautifully. I love this. I love this. And the only bit of yarn I have left is this. And that was pretty much the case for all 5 of these colorways. So I had 5 different colorways, and each colorway made 5 granny squares. Next up, we've got this beautiful blue and purple colorway. Absolutely gorgeous. We've also got a little bit of browns in there, if you can see, sort of just speckled in. Very beautiful as well. I just have a very little bit left. So I'm thinking with all of these little bits of yarn, I could probably create at least one granny square from these colorways. We've got our yellow. It almost reminds me of like lemonade or something. The yellow is not as bright on camera as it is in person. We've got a really bright yellow, some oranges in there. These squares came out really nice. This ball of yarn did not want to wind up into a ball at all. I struggled with it. It was a user error. I did it wrong from the get-go. So I had to kind of make it work. I never actually got this whole hank of yarn into a workable ball of yarn. It was a half a ball and then it was a mess. So I worked from the mess side because I didn't need it all as one long piece, because granny squares, after I finished my 5 rounds, I cut my yarn. So I did it that way. It took a little bit longer because I really did have to unwind and untangle as I was working, but we got it done. So we've just got a very little bit of this one, 5 squares. And we've got more of a teal blue. So the other one was more of a purple with hints of blue. This one is more of a teal with some hints of a darker blue. There's some green tones in there. It's a really nice square, really nice colorway as well. We've got, again, some hints of browns in there. So there we go on that one. And a very, very little amount of yarn left for this colorway. And finally, we've got the purple. Such a nice color purple with some, you know, lighter, sort of heathered, denim, faded, washed tones in there. I really, really like this color too. It has just been so fun to see these colorways in their original like hank form, and then in the caked up or balled form, and finally into granny square form. I just love it. They all just look so different, and yet it's the same yarn, same color. So I have quite a bit more of this one left. Still got 5 squares, but I have quite a bit more yarn left here. So we've got all of these fun colorway squares. Got yellow, teal, purple, blue, and then sort of all of the colors put together in this last square over here. And again, this was the Zeus collection. I do believe they sell these individually, so if you only wanted one of these colorways, you could do that. I wanted the collection, the minis, and I'm so glad that I got all 5. It's really hard to pick a favorite, but if I had to, it would be this one, because it's all of these colors from that collection put into one colorway. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you on our next virtual yarn trip adventure. Bye!